Hi everyone, this is Lena here. I decided to go ahead and make a short video showing some of the things that you can do with the new Close to My Heart Art Philosophy Cricut cartridge. And here's just a little quick project I made used to actually hold a gift card as a gift card holder. And so here's an example just to, you could put in any sort of gift card. You could add candies in here. You could add tissue, other sorts of filling as well if you wanted a little bit of a tighter fit. But I just wanted to show you actually the cuts here are done from the Close to My Heart Art Philosophy cartridge. And what I did was basically I took what looks like the French fry box using the new double-sided Close to My Heart cardstock paper. Cut that out. And I also cut out a star, and the stamp sets that come with this particular Art Philosophy bundle. There's actually 3 D-size sets that come, and I'll give you a quick view of what they look like. Here's one of them. You can see a cupcake, there's sentiments, there's some things you can use for Valentine's, there's even a little banner type stamp, gifts, and again sentiments, there's things for invitations, birthdays, different types of celebrations. You can also see here with another set that comes in the pack, again more sentiments, what you may have already noticed, and you can probably see it a little bit better on this stamp set, but if you notice by this particular image here, there's a little marking that says 1.5 inches, and you'll see that over here. You'll see for the star there's looks like 2 1/4 and so forth. And with these stamp sets, what happens is that you look for this image in your cartridge booklet and you'll know exactly what to cut it out with so that it coordinates perfectly with your stamp. So what's nice about this is it cuts down on all the cutting you normally would have to do with stamped images, and it's already cut for you. Stamp your image, you're ready to go. And just to show you the last set here, here's one last one. And our stamp sets come in a nice, basically 6x6 pocket. And you have usually the blue, there's pink, there's yellow. It usually indicates more than anything seasons, or maybe some stamp sets for sentiments, backgrounds, alphabets. So they're color coded in that way. But again, the last set here, you can see, highly versatile, birthdays, thank yous, just different occasions. And again, you can see that these images have corresponding cuts in your Cricut cartridge booklet that you can go ahead and cut out that particular shape at 1 1/4 inches, and it will coordinate again nicely with your stamp. So getting back to the little gift card holder, or again you could fill this with candies and other little goodies. What I've done here is the star that I cut out that coordinates with this other stamp set. And so this star would have been cut out at 1 3/4, and these stamps are made from our photopolymer stamps, so the quality is excellent on them. I can just go ahead, take my stamp, I'll be able to ink it up, and again I'll be able to just place it right on here, and hopefully you can see. Let me zoom in a little bit before I try and stamp this. You can see that the stamp actually matches up with the star quite nicely. So let me go ahead and stamp that up, and perhaps this way as well would be a better view. You can see what's going on. Stamp this up. Let's see if I can see this a little bit better here as I stand up, since I'm behind a camera. And oops. Okay. And you can see I've got that star on there. Pull it right off, and I can go ahead, and this is the star that was used in attaching right to my little box here. And of course there are other stamps in the set, but as you can tell, you've got some different ones. In case you're wondering about other stamp sets, so I went ahead and pulled this one for a particular reason. What happens now with our stamp sets too is other stamp sets in our catalog, you'll still have sentiments. You will see here for some of these that, again, there's some markings, not on all of them, but on a lot of our newer stamp sets now, you do get stamps that match up with cuts in the Cricut Art Philosophy cartridge by CTMH. This one I would have to cut out, which is fine. If I wanted a more detailed layer to it, I would use this particular stamp, but I don't have to cut all of this out. I can just let my Cricut do the work for me, and I can easily stamp this and then layer that on top as well. So let me go ahead and show that to you quickly here. Okay, so to show you some of the layering that can be done with some of these stamp sets, I went ahead, just to save us a little bit of time here, but I went ahead and stamped the stamp on a piece of cardstock, and I went ahead and cut this out. This one does not have a particular image in the Art Philosophy cartridge, but this was quick to cut out, not a lot of detail in terms of having to cut this out. However, when I go to this piece, this one has a lot more, you know, little cuts here and there. So one thing I was able to do is go ahead and let my Cricut go ahead and do the work for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and actually layer this. I'm going to do a second generation stamping here. And let's see if I can get this nicely aligned. I'll need to maybe pull this out a little bit so that I can get over the camera. I'm going to pull that out. And now I can go ahead and layer this right onto my stamp. So I can use a pop dot to pop that up. I can also continue doing other sentiments in this. If I wanted to, I could take a sentiment from here. Let's say happy day. And what happens here, I could ink up the edges, but I can give it a little more depth. And I can do, again, layering of the stamps and also using my Cricut just to cut that out. Makes it very simple to do a lot of things that you would normally do. And again, it just cuts down the time. I let my Cricut do all the work for me, and I can just go in and stamp my sentiments or other images that I need. The last thing I thought I'd quickly show you is actually a little happy birthday card I made. I needed a quick card, and so I just decided to try the one that was actually part of the little projects in the CTMH book Art Philosophy booklet. And basically what I did here is, I mean, this took just a couple of minutes to make. I think, you know, the longest thing probably was just rolling the flowers, and even those went extremely quickly. They're very easy to put together, and you get a lot of bang for your work in terms of what you do here. So let me just show you the pieces. So I went ahead and I cut this out using a card feature. And so this piece was cut. This piece was also cut using the Cricut. The happy birthday sentiment actually comes from one of the stamp sets that are included in your bundle. And let me see if I can show you that again real quick. So this particular one, this is where I grabbed the sentiment. And I cut out 2 flowers. And one of them was cut out at 3 inches and one at 4 inches. And a little flourish here that was also cut out as well using the Cricut. So what I went ahead and did is I just inked up all my edges, stamped my sentiment first. I went ahead and actually rolled up the 4-inch rows here so you could see. And really when you roll up the roses, it just depends, you know, do you want them, you know, a little bit of a tighter look, like they're barely budding, or do you want a little bit more of an open look? You know, if you'll you'll have some, you'll have some room to decide on that actually in terms of the way these are cut. So I went ahead and I've already done this one, and I just want to show you quickly what it looks like to roll up one of these. And what I've done actually is I've just taken a quilling tool that I have. You could use tweezers. It works both ways. You could also cut these out using material on your Cricut, and that'll probably be the next thing I try. And you just roll these up towards the center. So again, you start with the outer spiral and you just roll. At some point, if you don't like the tool, I usually don't. After a while, I just pull it right off. And I can keep rolling. And I just keep rolling. Some of you may wonder, well, do you ink your edges? Yes, you can. Depending on how you ink them, it can make them look richer. It can make them look more, it can make them look brighter. I inked mine a little bit just because I have a white core cardstock here. Some people like that in terms of some of the highlighting. And so I just roll it up and then I kind of just let it bud out a little bit. And you can see here I have my rows. Very simple. In case you're wondering about the bottom again just has that little end point here, and you can just basically just let it sit on top of it. You can work your rows if you want it looser. You can leave it a looser, more open petal look, or if you want it a little tighter, to make it look like it's barely starting to bud, you can do that as well. And basically in terms of what adhesives to use to glue them, you can use a glue gun. I've seen people use glue dots when they're in a hurry and they don't have a glue gun, maybe at a crop, things like that. I've just used even a liquid glue. Of course, if you use a liquid glue, you may have to just hold it for a minute just to make sure it's very secure. And that's it. You're done. I've seen bouquets done with these where you have a bouquet of roses, and if you cut some of the flower cuts small enough, you can even make it look like you have baby's breath in there. And what I would do here is just glue everything down. So basically, and there would be my happy birthday card as one of the projects that's used to introduce the cartridge in the booklet. I hope you got, some good information on this. If you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. My email's on Glenda's blog. She's awesome. So, for letting me introduce this cartridge on her blog. And also, I'd like to let you know the bundle normally, actual retail value is about $124. Close to My Heart is offering it for $99, which is awesome because you get 3 full-size stamp sets, 3 sets of chipboard elements, and the chipboard elements also match the stamps as well. So you'll know if you want to add paper to them, you can using your Cricut to cut things out, or you can just go ahead and stamp directly on them. There's banner pieces, there's stamps again, pieces that match the stamps nicely as well. So you get 3 sheets of those. And of course, the Close to My Heart Cricut Art Philosophy cartridge. That is being sold for $99. However, if you contact me, just again, send me an email, CTMH, just put CTMH -G, or let me know that you've found my address through the website. I will also give you a $10 discount on the bundle. And of course, check out the posts I made regarding all the specials that are going on for the month of August and September. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.